happy day when Kenya lifted the ban for flights from the UAE, Dubai. Good morning. That is some good news right there after 14 days hiatus of flights, passenger flights particularly, leaving JKIA to the Dubai airport. This and so much more on this episode of Business Cafe. My good name is Brian Jojotieno and I'm with
Brenda Kirubo. Good morning.
Of course, we'll be talking about SMEs, and we have a guest with us here today who will be speaking about all things small and medium enterprises. But first off, let's get you informed of what is happening in the country. Now, there's a train that has been stuck, a commuter train by the Kenya Railway train, commuter train from Eastlands area to Nairobi. Of course, that is also an update we'll be giving you in a short while. Brenda.
Of course, I mean, this is a story that is developing right now. It's a train that actually usually comes into place at around 7 in the morning.
Sure. And
these are the details that we have so far in relation to it. The Embakasi Village DMU experienced a technical hitch between Makadara and Donholm at 0700 hours. And of course, a rescue train was sent from Kenya Railways, and it happened at Syokimau, where it evacuated the passengers at around 0740 hours. Now, the impact of the delay was felt in other passenger trains that ultimately led to other delays on that specific route. So, of course, it is a developing story that is going on, and passengers were stuck for about 1 hour. So we're getting more details in relation to that, but we do understand that the situation has already been resolved at the moment. Kenya Railways are expected to issue an official statement in relation to this. Again, there is a train that was stuck earlier on in Donholm at around 0700 hours. The train, that's the time that it was supposed to start from Syokimau. But now, of course, we understand that it has been resolved and the train left the station at around 0740 hours. Of course, this is a train that has a lot of passengers, and most of them had to experience the delay because the route is also used by other passengers plying different routes in Eastlands. Branji?
And of course, we plead with employers and of course business people for a little bit of understanding because of that hitch that was unforeseen. Let's talk about something else that Kenyans are dealing with. Kenyans are reeling from the high cost of cooking gas following a sharp rise in the price of the commodity. Now, the sharp rise increase has been attributed to the recent imposition of value-added tax as well as the rise of the global price of petroleum products. Brenda Kerubo with the report.
A spot check by the KTN News in some of the major petrol stations in Nairobi shows that the cost of refilling a 13-kilogram cylinder of liquefied petroleum gas has shot up to 3,000 shillings. Many of the retail outlets run by major oil marketing companies are selling gas at about 2,990 shillings. This compared to 2,600 shillings in November 2021 and 2,000 shillings in November 2020, before the government imposed VAT on gas. Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority says that a mix of factors, particularly high global petroleum prices and taxation, are to blame for the recent spike. When VAT was introduced in 2020, the price of crude was low, but when the price ballooned, the tax became significant. The energy industry regulator said it has advised the Petroleum Ministry and Treasury to consider doing away with VAT on LPG. Data by the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics shows that demand for cooking gas has more than tripled over the past 10 years to 326,200 tons in 2020, up from 93,600 tons consumed in 2012. The uptake of the fuel has been on account of health and environmental campaigns that have led to, among other actions, the state adoption of measures meant to encourage use of other fuels such as charcoal and wood, as well as kerosene. Brenda Kirubo, KTN News.
Very well then, so mango farmers are still grappling with poor prices of the commodity despite the lifting of the self-imposed ban earlier in 2021 on exportation to the European market. They are now calling on the national government to intervene and create proper guidelines to govern the sector. KTN's Moige William with the details.
It's another bumper harvest for mango farmers in Embu County this season, with mango trees making good yields. However, all is not well, with the majority counting losses due to lack of readily available market to offload their produce. Linda Muthoni, a farmer, notes she is currently depending on the middlemen to purchase mangoes from her, with the majority of the fruits being left to rot in the farm.
Naumia sana kwa sababu wakati naenda sokoni napata maembe inauzwa kwa ile embe iko kwa sasa. Kuja ununuliwe embe moja kwa shilingi 2 na naitwa sema tu shilingi 2 na 50 cents. Inaudhi sana sababu hata ukiangalia ile kazi unafanyia haya maembe kabla ifike kiwango cha kuwa inafunwa kwa sasa ni kazi mingi sana. Na hiyo pesa ukaangalia vizuri haitaweza hata kurudisha ile expenses zote umeokaa kwa hiyo kukuza maembe.
Despite going a step ahead and investing a lot so as to get quality harvest to make it to the international markets, farmers lament of the little returns they are acquiring from the fruit.
Kwa hivyo kwa wakati huu hata ukiangalia kwa shamba langu utaona kwamba kuna maembe yako chini, yameanguka. Lakini wakati kama huu haya maembe tunayaita ya Kent. Wakati huu ndio wakati mwafaka wa kuyanunua, na haya yanaweza hata kwenda ng'ambo. Sababu tumepiga ndawa kwa ile njia ambayo inatakikana.
Ile soko tunayo ni wale brokers wanakuja kununua maembe. Wakikuja kununua maembe wanasema shilingi 2 sumuni. Ndawa tukiingia kwa Agrovet, ndawa ni ya ava lita ni 500. Kwota ni 1500. Sasa sijui tutaenda wapi. Kwa maembe sahi yote imeosha kwa shamba. Maembe hakuna bei. Maembe hasara ni tubu. Hata sijui tutangoa ama tutakatakata.
Proposing a lasting remedy to the woes which have been recurring, farmers have called on both the national and county government to step up a value addition factory in their region.
Watu wamepanda maembe mengi sana, na kwa hivyo kukiwa na kiwanda hayo mambo tunaweza fanya.
Moige William, KTN News.
The East African Business Council is pushing for revival of business committees to facilitate seamless flow of goods and services at border points. The regional apex body of the private sector association and corporate has embarked on an ambitious plan to revamp joint border committees in Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, South Sudan and Burundi under the East Africa Trade Protocol. Speaking during a multi-agency forum that brought together different actors from both Kenya and Uganda at Malaba border, the council chief executive, John Kalisa, said they are focused on formulating robust systems that will guarantee fast clearance of trucks along the border towns of Busia and Uganda.
There are a number of issues. First of all, there are issues related to COVID, which has led to the delays in terms of clearance because of not complying, especially on some of the measures, but also that some of the requirements related to COVID are very stringent in nature, like the recent introduction of $30 tests for the trucks destined to Uganda was one of the causes that caused the delays.
Initially, we had a backlog of 80 kilometers on Malaba side, and that has been reduced to 25 kilometers as I'm speaking to you on Malaba side. On Busia, we had a queue of 30 kilometers, and as we are speaking, that has been reduced to only 8 kilometers today. So we have agreed with our counterparts. We are working. I've even sent reinforcement from other areas, Customs, Kisumu, and Isebania to come here and assist in clearing backlogs. So that is something we have put concerted effort, and we are working to ensure that it's done.
All right, so 50% of all new jobs are estimated to come from medium and large companies, despite them constituting only 20% of all the firms in the manufacturing and service sectors. The huge role that SMEs play in driving the growth of our economy